afternoon, and welcome to Good Drinks Bar and Liquor Store. How can I help you today? Oh, you're the one that called in. Yes, I was more than happy to prepare a short presentation for you. It's wonderful to meet you in person. Do you want to get started right away, or would you prefer to relax for a moment? Okay, that's perfectly good. I've got all my material ready to go. So, basically, you wanted to know a little bit more about liquor and how it's used in both mixology and culinary arts today. Oh, in the past as well. Yes, certainly. Liquor, in its modern definition, refers to the end product of distilling a liquid that contains ethanol in order to increase its concentration. This can be done by either boiling the liquid at a very low temperature to extract its component chemicals, or it can be done by freezing the liquid to the same end. This increases both its shelf life and potential for flavor, as well as its intoxicating effects. When alcohol is distilled, it may or may not be aged afterward. If it is, it's usually aged in oak barrels, which will further flavor the beverage. Additives such as spices, herbs, or syrups or other items may also be included. While most of the classification of liquors comes from the additives that get added to liquor after it's processed, the plants that were used to produce the original ethanol-rich liquid, or mash as it's known, is also a factor. And for certain premium liquors, it may even require that those plants be grown in a certain part of the world. For example, cognac, bourbon, and tequila all fall under that category. Cognac can only be called cognac if the grapes that the final liquor was made from were grown and distilled in the Cognac region of France. Likewise, bourbon can only be called such if the corn that is the main component of the beverage was grown in Bourbon County, Kentucky. Tequila refers to a very narrow region of Mexico across a small number of states, and all the agave which tequila is distilled from must be grown in that region in order to be called tequila. Other liquors do not depend on the location in which the plants were grown, but their composition is still a factor. For instance, agave liquor, which is not tequila, is called mezcal. Rum may only be made from sugarcane or one of the byproducts of its refining process, such as molasses. Whiskey must always be made from a grain of some kind, although where you are in the world will determine what brands are available and their exact concentrations. Other liquors are dependent on the way they are made rather than what they are made from. Vodka is probably the best known of this particular subset, as vodka can be made from anything, but is usually made from grain or potatoes. Once the alcohol is distilled, vodka is filtered very, very, very well and is never aged. This gives very good vodka a very, very smooth mouthfeel and is almost completely flavorless. Historically, liquor did not see much use in the Western world until the late end of the Dark Ages, when it was used as a method of extending the shelf life of beer and wine. This is actually how cognac was originally invented. It was found to be far superior from the wine that it was originally made from. Modern distillation was made possible by a device known as the column still. This device can separate multiple different chemicals based on their boiling points, while the original method of distilling, called the pot still method, was used to just separate everything above a certain boiling point. Using the column still method, very, very large batches could be made at once, and all toxic materials could be removed, therefore ensuring that the final product remains pure. Coming to the modern era, we will get down to some basic terms and how things are used today. Mixology is the art of crafting mixed beverages, both alcoholic and otherwise. Everything from something as simple as whiskey sour to something as complex as Long Island iced tea fall under this colorful umbrella term. And if you'd like to know some recipes, we can meet again to talk about that too. I'd be honored to share what I know. In the culinary field, alcohol is used to augment and enhance flavor. It is one of 4 chemicals that can extract flavor from food. The others are salt, fat, and water. As such, just about all of my recipes contain at least a little alcohol. If not for its own flavor, then to enhance what is already available. Popular foods that contain liquor as a key ingredient include bananas Foster, a variation of baked Alaska called Bomba Alaska, cherries Jubilee, barbecue in its many forms, and one you might not have heard of called Rumtopf. This is a German delicacy wherein various fruits are layered in a single vessel, picked at the peak of their season, and then covered with liquor to preserve them. It will then be eaten the next year. It's great on pancakes. That goes over everything I've prepared for you today. If you're interested in any particular liquors, we can go into them into more detail another time. If you have any purchases you'd like to make, please feel free to look around the store. And thank you so very much for coming in today. I hope we meet again soon.